Hello and how are you? The story is told of a son of King Louis XVI, a boy that we can identify with today and be able to encourage each other that despite what could be going on around your life and around my life, don't give up. The story goes that some men they dethroned the King Louis XVI of France. And they took the son who was supposed to partake or to take over after the father, and they locked him up in a certain place. And they had one intent, they had one objective. They wanted to compromise the character. They wanted to make this boy decay in character and the values that were built in him that would allow him to become a very capable king to rule the kingdom after the father. And these men, they dethroned the father and they took the boy, they locked up him in a certain place. And this, they brought menus to this boy. They brought women who were naked, who would come and they would do all manner of things, wanting to compromise this boy in his moral aspect of life. These women, they would come every day and they would dance and they would do all manner of things in front of this boy so that the captor's objective of compromising the character of this boy would be realized. They brought all manner of food to this boy and they wanted the boy to be depressed and to engage himself with eating all this kind of food so that he becomes a gluttony. They came in and they spoke all manner of vulgar words and languages before this boy. And because he was a young boy, you would think that this boy would partake of these things. And each and every day when this boy remained locked up, they did these things. And then it came one day, after 6 months, they withdrew all this manner of temptations and all this manner of evils that they had introduced to this boy. And they put the boy on a seat and they questioned him. Tell us, we see that you have not been moved at all by what we have fed you and what we have introduced to you for the last 6 months. And the boy looked at them straight in the eyes and said to them, I couldn't partake of all the things you gave me and you brought my way. I couldn't even partake of the language that you spoke in very vulgar words before me, because I know I was born to be a king. And my reason, I think that is what I want to put across to us. There is something, and there is something I was made to become. There is something you were made and ordained to become. In the times we are in today, there is so much that is going on around us, around you, around the world, even to unparalleled maybe levels of what anything has ever happened to anyone who is alive today. There are so much things, there is so much pain going on. There is so many things that you cannot be able to predict how tomorrow shall be. You cannot be able to give a guarantee that when I do this and I do that, I will be able to make 1 and 2 here and there, and I can be able maybe to keep the promise that you make today. But I want you to know that there is something that God, who changes not, ordained you to become. There is something God, who ordained you to be a king, has ordained for you, and there is a cost, there is a price for you to pay despite what is going on. The boy in the story was subjected to all manner of things, but he had resolved on one thing. We read about a guy called Daniel in the Bible, in the book of Daniel chapter 1 verse 8. And the Bible says that he was given all manner of things that were ordained to be fed to the guys who sat from King Nebuchadnezzar's table. And Daniel resolved in his heart. And I think we are living in such times. The times we are in today, there must be a Daniel reality. There must be the son of King Louis reality. There must be something that is a reality from deep within your heart, that you got to fight for what you know it is God ordained for you. It is something that you must look at it and count the cost and say, for I know and I understand that this is ordained and this is meant for me. You must go for it. Looking around your life, what is it that you are going through today, that you are almost at a place or at the brink of giving in and caving in? You are at a moment of maybe saying enough is enough and I can't take it anymore. Is it in your marriage that God ordained and gave you a husband and gave you a wife and gave you children, but you feel I cannot take it anymore? There is so much of things that are going on around the family structure. There are so many things that we are hearing every day, things that has never happened before. We are hearing of people who are entrusted with the lives of their children turning against them and murdering them and killing them. Others are maybe people who are administrators in the government turning against school-going children. These are things we have never heard about before, maybe in our lives, in our lifetime, but they are happening all around us. When you hear of these things, do not give up hope. You were ordained to become king. And it is in the midst of all this chaos and all this darkness happening even around you and around me that I am meant to shine brighter. When Jesus taught us, he said that you are the light of the world, and the light cannot be if the darkness is not there. Why you need light is because there is darkness to shine around. If you don't need to walk in during the day with your torch on. You don't put your light on during the day if you are living in a well-lit house, because there is light. But when the darkness comes in, the light is so much needed. And I think these are the times we are living in, that there is so much light that is needed in the institution of marriage. There is so much right that is needed in the institution of relationships, in the institution of planning businesses, in how husband and wives, children and their parents relate to each other. There is so much right that is needed. And I think there is no better time for us to be alive but now. That you can be able to look at your wife and be able to say, honey, better days are ahead of us. Can be able to look to your children and you can encourage them and say, you were meant to be a candidate this year, but hang on, better days are ahead. Want to talk to the class 8 candidate and the form 4 candidate for this year 2020, who probably are not going to sit their exams at the end of this year for all that is what is obvious, the issue of the pandemic going on. You hang on. You don't give up hope for anything. Your better days are ahead of you. A delay in taking your exam does not mean that the plan of God and the plan for and the purpose that he has for your life has aborted. It is just a pause on what was meant to be. It is just a pause on something that was supposed to happen. It has just been delayed for a while. Even if it was delayed for 2 years, hang on and don't give up. Don't compromise that what you have worked so hard to become. Be like the boy who said, I was ordained to be a king. You were ordained to be something in your life. Hang on. Don't engage yourself into the issues of drug and substance abuse. Don't engage yourself as a young man in issues of pregnancy and sexual promiscuity. Don't hide yourself behind these gadgets, watching pornography and all those manner of things. Refuse to be compromised by these things, because you were ordained to be a king. There is something that God is up to with your life. I have dealt with so many young people whose life are in danger. They are losing their mind. Some are being put on mental drugs because of having compromised, because they fell into the temptation of issues of drug abuse and all that and all that. But today, I want to build capacity within you, that you can be able to withstand every temptation in life that can hinder you from becoming the king that you were ordained to become. You are not alone. A man called David in the Bible, he was anointed king, and then he was chased daily by the king Saul, seeking to do away with his life so that he doesn't take the throne after him. God made sure that David became the king. There is a guy in the Bible called Joseph. He had a dream that the sun, the moon, and the stars would come and bow before him. And then he had 13 years of crisis after crisis in his life. And here you are today, that you have men that you can look up to and say, if they overcame, I can overcome as well. Young person, don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on that what you are so convinced that it is your share of what you are supposed to become in this life. As a parent, don't give up on your young children. As a man, don't give up on your family. As a wife, don't give up on anything. Don't give up on that business. Don't give up on your career. Don't give up on that relationship. Don't give up on your faith in God. The better days of that relationship are ahead. It is just for a while. This dark moment is passing by. And you will ascend to the throne. Refuse, like the son of King Ruiz, who refused to partake of all these things. Like Daniel, who resolved that he would not by any chance, by any means, partake of that what would compromise his relationship with God. Make up your mind that you are not going to compromise what God has entrusted or ordained for you. My name is Amos Kibara. I am a public speaker, a trainer, and I'm the proprietor, Prudent Camp Counseling and Rehabilitation Services. We are based in Thika. We journey with the people who have been into issues of drugs and alcohol and substance abuse. We take them through inpatient program for a duration of 3 months. We give them hope. We take them through the process on how to go about living addiction-free life. We encourage them. We introduce them to a new life in God. We introduce them to new life with their families and all that. And if you would want to know more about our services, if you would want to book an appointment with any one of our qualified and committed counselors and psychologists, so that we can be able to look at issues maybe around your life, do not hesitate to call us. Our office number is 0700 345 403. Again, 0700 345 403. We are based in Goigwa in Thika. Feel free to call us. God bless you. Hang on, for you are meant to be a king. Thank you.